Rasi. Okay, sorry for the small delay getting your work back. Just had a few health issues, that's all. Basically just an eye operation, so that's why I've been a bit slow. So anyway, let's get to it. The issue of whether schools should entertain or educate students has grown in importance over the last few years. Genius. I believe that the curriculum ought to be reformed to teach formal lessons as well as to please the children. Assessing will analyse the issues, or these issues perhaps, using examples from Harvard and the UK. Good. When the first time we mention Harvard, we can say Harvard University, and then the second time we can just call it Harvard. Okay? And then it's just easier to follow. Also, I can't really see Harvard here, so be careful. I have to make a big assumption that you're talking about Harvard, okay, or some deduction, because you've talked about the UK here, so I can deduce that you're talking about Harvard here. But either way, I should not have to work in the fact that I'm a reader. You should make it as crystal clear as possible. Okay, so let's go. Firstly, academic institutions should teach enjoyably to motivate improving knowledge. So, enjoyably to motivate the acquisition of knowledge, to motivate improving knowledge. It doesn't sound too right here. Okay, to motivate improving knowledge, skills and competences within a personal, social and employee-related perspective. Good, very good actually. Sorry about that, that was my fault. I couldn't see the comma, I thought it was a full stop. This is because children are often diverse, curious and creative that can be shaped. No. So, who can be shaped by entertainment associated learning rather than traditional methods. So these sentences are kind of heavy, alright? And this is probably one of the reasons why we're going over the word limit. By heavy, I mean that you're packing a lot of information into them, which is good, okay, but we don't want to be doing it every single sentence because it forces the reader to work. So let's see. First, the academic institution should teach enjoyably to motivate students. Right, the problem here is we've squeezed in two lists. Okay, so we've done dun 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 dun. Oh, start with that one, and then dun dun dun. And that makes the sentence quite heavy. So if I was rewriting this, I'd say first academic institutions should teach enjoyably to motivate students within a personal, social and employee related perspective. That would be sufficient. Okay, this is because children are often diverse, curious and creative. And can be shaped by entertainment associated learning rather than traditional methods. Okay, and is here, not who, sorry. So once again, probably, if we're over the word limit, we don't need an extra sentence in there. So let's just delete that, okay? And we'll stick then to the word limit. Moreover, science and math are necessary but insufficient to address the whole population, and physical education, music and dance should be used to flourish them. Okay, so let's really work on your sentences in the next essay. Okay, let's go subject, verb, object. Okay, just for clarity. Not in every single sentence, but I want you to be more aware of that. Okay, so let's just delete this sentence now anyway. Okay, because we're over the word limit. For example, recent studies by Harvard, we do have Harvard there, good, showed that in California, students who learn music and dance have higher performance in maths and science. Therefore, it is clear that schools must be enjoyable. So we're making a big assumption here that music and dance is enjoyable. Okay, if you'd have said something like, let's see, first, the academic institutions should teach a wide range of disciplines within a personal, social and employee-related perspective. This is because children are often diverse, curious and creative and can be shaped by, actually says it's enjoyable, isn't it? Okay, so we did do right to centre it around enjoyable, but we have made a big assumption that's by assuming that music and dance is enjoyable. And that's okay, but we should have said it at the beginning that music and dance are considered more enjoyable by over 30% of students, and when the students find a mixed curriculum enjoyable, they are much more likely to learn. They are much more likely to reach higher attainment or reach a higher attainment. Therefore, it is clear that schools must be enjoyable. Okay, so perhaps you might want to just rewrite that one completely, okay, and then send it to me and I'll have a look. Secondly, there is ample evidence, good, to suggest that educational centres' utmost duty is to educate youngsters to acquire formal qualifications. Good. This is due to the fact that under the umbrella of today's competitive world, often requires, once again, we should be going for simplicity here, because this is another example of how I'm lost now. So this is due to the fact that under the umbrella of today's competitive world, students often require a higher level of academic credentials for employment. Okay, we need the subject here. What goes with often? Okay, students often, and I shouldn't have to be going back and rereading this. Okay, it should just be flowing. And this is your comprehension and cohesion skills we're talking about. For example, in the UK, educational achievements are usually mandatory for many occupations, even for dishwashers and waiters in restaurants. Consequently, education should be the main objective of schools. Very good. Very, very good. Much better, this one. Okay? Apart from this little hiccup, this one flowed a lot easier. Okay? And also, Rasi, one argument is sufficient. Okay, so we either delete this one or we delete this one. But 1 point is sufficient, especially for you, because we're usually going over the word limit. To conclude, although entertainment should be included in the standard educational system, should not be forgotten. That's still priority subject. Okay, that priority subject materials should be learned. It should not be forgotten that traditional subjects should be learned. Okay, just going for simplicity, because we're not going to get bogged down in rereading. Therefore, I believe that the combination of entertainment and teaching would be more effective. There will be more entertaining schools in the future. Okay, good way to finish there. So, you're doing well, Rasi, but let's go for simplicity and we'll see a big improvement in cohesion and coherence. Once again, this is way over the word limit. It's 150 words, the limit. 165 absolute maximum, because it's 10 or minus percent, plus or minus 10%, either way. Okay, so the line graph and pie chart by IMF World Bank illustrate the total member income of special trade zones from 1990 to 2000, and global market share exports in 2000. Very good. Okay, so excellent. One paragraph for the line graph, one paragraph for the pie chart. That's fine. From the line graph, in 1990, total member income started at just above 120 billion US, staying at the same level in the following year, and then jumped around 135 billion, or probably then jumped to around 135 billion until 1993. Good. After that, the income value showed an upward trend toward the end of the decade, with a peak income of nearly 180 billion in in 1997. Thereafter, total income was maintained at a plateau. Good work. According to the pie chart, Benland was the largest market share exporter with 90,233, while Peterland occupied the smallest portion at 12,342. Very good, very good. So here's the tip. We could have said just over 90,000, while Peter occupied the smallest portion at just over 12,000. Okay? And here we don't have to go into the tiny little details, but we can just get a rough idea. So Jamesland, I don't think it was spelled like that. Okay, so be careful. Jamesland was just behind the first place. Okay, that's a bit with, so if we're just going to put it like that, we should put the figure. If we'd have linked it into this sentence, it would have been okay, but we can't just put it on its own without a figure. Okay, the third largest exporter was Andyland with 60,000. So no, we could have just linked these together. Jamesland was just behind first place at 85,000, while the third largest participant was Andyland at 60,000. Okay, that would have been much better. And we're going to use the comparisons there, while, like you did here. Oh, so we could have just used whereas. Okay, Tinland and Freeland had nearly similar market share. Exports good. Herbertland, Darrenland, and Joland contributed one for there, and respectively. Fantastic for using that sentence. Well done. So to get the word count down, what you could have done is maybe linked some of these together, or even better, just probably put Jamesland and Andyland together in this sentence and just made a chunky, respectively sentence. Okay, so overall, well done for using that at the end. It can be clearly seen that total member income showed an upward trend throughout the period, and 7 lands out of 9 had actively participated in global. I don't see why it would be 7 out of 9. Okay, I guess you were talking. But these two still actively participated, but just not as much. So here I would have said, overall, can we say that total income showed an upward trend throughout the period, and the largest exporter was Bensland, and the smallest exporter was Petersland. Full stop. That would have been sufficient. Okay? So good work, Rasi. Let's keep on improving. You're doing well. I think you've already got the next questions. Once again, sorry for the small delay. Let's keep on pushing. Let's keep on improving. Okay? All the